Prusa CORE One, CORE One Plus, and CORE One L. The CORE One and the CORE One L have one of the best extruder on the market for 3D printing flexible materials. But as all with flexibles, until now, you have to lower the speed to absurd times to print any part, especially with softer hardness level. All this is due to the difficulty of pushing 1.75mm flexible filament, which struggles to get through the extruder. So you need a stable extrusion. This isn't just a launch for a harder TPU, it's Filaflex 2.20. More control, more stability, more speed, and more success in your 3D flexible prints. In this guide, I will show you how to install it very easily on your Prusa CORE One, CORE One Plus, and CORE One L. No wear modes, just following the official Prusa guide. What we are going to do? The plan is easy. We swap the nozzle for the Recreus 2.20mm. Just like you will change nozzles when you are working with your Prusa, no changes here. We slightly adjust the extruder tension. And now we are ready to print with flexible materials in an easy way. Why 2.20mm works? With flexibles, it's not the temperature that kills the print, it's that the filament buckles, compresses, and loses its push. With 2.20mm, you have more column strength, more extrusion stability, and the filament reaches the Hotend without twisting. Result: you can print faster and with fewer failures, even with the very soft and low source materials. Safety: in this tutorial, we are not modifying the firmware or touching the machine electronics. For safety, unplug the printer. Make sure it is completely cold and work calmly with the right tools and well-lit area. Take your time. Don't force anything. If you have any doubts, contact us at Recreus.com. Tools. What you need? Let's get the tools ready. For this date, you only need the Recreus 2.20mm kit for CORE One, CORE One Plus, or CORE One L. This includes 2.20mm Hotend ready for use. We also need an Allen key and the wrench provided by the Prusa for the Hotend swap. Time is approximately 5 minutes. Installing the 2.20 Hotend on CORE One, CORE One Plus, or CORE One L, step by step. The installation and the Hotend swap is the same as in the official Prusa guide for CORE One, CORE One L, or CORE One Plus models. So this won't change, and you can follow the official guide. If you do, remember to come back here once you place the Hotend to follow the final indications, material loading, and slicer configuration. Even so, let's go through the process. Step 1. Printer preparation. If your printer has any filament loaded, unload the filament so you can remove the Hotend. Step 2. Lower the bed. First, and before turning off your 3D printer, lower the bed down to leave space. Go to the control panel, move axis, move set 100mm or more. Wait for the bed to go down. This way, you can work more comfortably with the necessary space. Step 3. Power off, disconnect, and remove the top cover. Turn off the printer at the back switch. Disconnect the power cable and proceed to remove the top cover. To do this, locate the nylon rivets and release them. Relieve the top cover to have free access from above. Step 4. Release the PTFE feed tube at the top of the Hotend. Remove the PTFE Teflon feed tube from the extruder by pressing the collet. Push feed that holds the tube. Step 5. Release and remove the Hotend. Here you have two options: disconnecting the thermistor and heater cartridge as per Prusa's guide, or you can do it by just screwing the nozzle carefully without disconnecting the cable. And in this case, we are only changing the nozzle and not the heater block. Remember, your printer must be unplugged, cold, and with the bed down to have room to work. First, loosen the two-side thumb screws that hold the Hotend in the position. No tools are needed for this. Can be done by hand. Be careful and gentle with the cables to protect the connection and avoid any damage. Now the Hotend can move, and it's time to loosen the nozzle from the block. To do this, use the tool included with your printer to loosen the nozzle slightly, just enough so you can continue screwing by hand. Now that our nozzle is free, it's time to place the new Recreus 2.20mm nozzle, compatible with 1.75mm and 2.20mm filaments, which will allow you to print flexibles like never before. Step 6. Place the new Hotend. Prepare the new Recreus 2.20mm Hotend for your Core One, Core One Plus or Core One L. Now insert the nozzle through the heater block and into the extruder from the bottom. Proceed to screw the nozzle into the block until you can't go any farther by hand. Give it a final gentle tighten. Don't use too much force. To lock it in place against the heater block, place the Hotend back in its natural position and, holding it with your hand, proceed to tighten the two-side thumb screws that will fix the Hotend into place. Remember, you don't need tools to tighten this screw. Finally, put the silicone shock back on to protect the block. And we are all set. Now, let's see how to adjust the extruder pressure. Step 7. Extruder tension adjustment. A key step for printing flexibles. This adjustment we're about to make makes all the difference with flexibles. At the top, we have two screws with springs that adjust the tension gripping the filament to push it. To work with flexibles, you don't need a high clamping force, especially with softer materials, as they will get squashed. Therefore, using an Allen key, loosen the extruder screws by 2 turns. Don't worry, you don't have to keep doing this every time you switch to rigid or flexible. Your 1.75 materials will work perfectly with this tension too. Less pressure, fewer marks, less friction and better push. Now we are ready to load our flexible filament. Step 8. Load, power on and purge. Now, prepare your spool of 220mm flexible filament. Insert the filament through the side of PTFE tube. If you have the Core One Plus or Core One L, you can release the filament sensor with the internal button to push the filament more easily through the extruder. You can leave the filament spool on the side holder or feed it from the filament dryer, which will keep your flexible filament optimal and moisture-free. Turn on 3D printer, bring the filament close to the extruder through the top opening. Go to the Material Load menu and select Flexible. Load 220 filament and perform and purge to ensure a clean path. During the uploading process, the printer performs a sequence that may cause some clogs. To avoid this, follow these steps. 1. Release the extruder tension lever. 2. Start the standard unload sequence from the screen. And 3rd, once the sequence is finished, pull the filament out normally. By releasing the lever, you bypass the mechanical movements of the unloading sequence, preventing any potential jams. If the purge flows continuously, you are already 90% on the way to success. Your Prusa CORE One, Core One Plus or Core One L is ready to print 220mm flexibles and 1.75 rigid materials without changing anything else. A slicer, Prusa slicer. Just 3 changes and we have our printer ready. Now it's time to change the slicing configuration. Here we give you 2 options. You can download our profiles ready to print, or if you prefer to do it yourself, I will tell you the basic changes you need to make to dive fully into printing 220mm flexibles. Let's see it. Now we are here in Prusa Slicer. And now the first thing that we need to go is go to the filament settings and printer settings. Okay, the first thing is select our printer settings. Now we are with Prusa CORE One 0.4 nozzle. Okay, we select this, and now we are going to modify the parameters of the filament in order that use 2.2mm diameter. Now the first thing is I'm going to select a generic flex for Core One. Okay, and the first thing that we are going to do is use our and modify the 1.75 and change it to 2.2mm to 18mm. This is the regular diameter that we use in flexible 220, and extrusion multiplier we are going to put to 1, and we are going to change the temperature settings. Now we are going to save, and we are going to use a Philoflex, regular Filaflex 82A 2.2mm, and we save it. Okay, we have this parameter right now, we have the name, and we are going to change the temperature settings. The first layer we are going to use 240, and the following one it could be 255. The settings to 30 degrees and 30 degrees, and we are going to save. Okay, we save, and we are going to go to cooling settings. On the cooling settings, it's regular, maximum, it's okay, breeds and fans. We are going to decrease to 50, and almost the same. And we are going to go to the next setting, that is advanced settings. Okay, filament type is flex. And now my favorite part is maximum volumetric speed, and we are going to set up to 16mm cubics per second for Filaflex 82. Remember that if you want to use another material like Filaflex 70A, 60A, foamy materials, you can download the ready-to-go profile from our website, Recreus.com. Okay, we have already changed the volumetric speed, we saved, and we are going to filament overdrives. Leave height 0, okay, we change and we put 0. Retraction go to 2.5 millimeters, retraction speed 50, and the retraction to 30. Minimum tolerance after retraction 2mm, retraction line change nothing, while retracting yes, and retract amount before wipe we are going to put 90%. Okay, we are ready to save. And that's all. We have our filament parameters ready. And now we can go to the print settings. Okay, we have 0.2mm line height, and we are going to check all the parameters. Okay, we have layer height for the first layer, and the regular layers is 0.2, that is correct. Solid layers in the top 5, and on the bottom we are going to set up to 4. And the rest, avoid to crossing, could overhand, check it, avoid crossing perimeters, okay, and we are going to put 400. It will avoid to have crossing apart during printing, and we avoid a lot of stringing along the part. Okay, same positions as you prefer. I always prefer to put rear, Seam gap distance, I always like to increase to 40 millimeters. Okay, let's go to the infill. The infill, it's alright, as you convenience. If you prefer 13, I prefer 20. Grid or rectilinear, that is a good performance. We leave the rest as it is. Skirt, I always like to put some, okay, I leave on 0. Support material, speed, we leave as it is. Multiple extruders, advance. Okay, we are going to decrease to 0.4, 0.4. And that's all. And in fill perimeters overlap, I would like to increase to 25. And bridge flow ratio, we reduce to 0.7. And that's all. We have our profile ready for Filaflex 2.20. Flex 2.20 millimeters. And that's all. I hope you enjoy printing flexible materials. We add shape, box, and we are going to make a slice. And you can see it's only 23 minutes and ready to print. We are ready for the fun part, printing flexibles at good speeds and in the different short hardness we offer. Versatility. What if you want to go back to PLA or PTG 1.75mm? Purge, load and go. You can alternate between 220mm flex and 1.75 rigids in the same Hotend without any problem. And that's it! 2.2mm nozzle mounted, 3 settings in the slicer, and flex, printing as it should. Faster, cleaner, and with fewer failures. Find this entire step-by-step guide, the profiles and tutorials for other compatible printer models, plus a place to ask any question if you have. We will be happy to answer. You can contact us in our website, Recreus.com. And welcome to the new 2.20mm standard by Recreus.